All right, welcome everyone. It's really a pleasure to welcome you all here. Thanks a lot for coming. And we look ahead to a very interesting day of talks and posters featuring both what people in the Cantab Capital Institute are doing, but also what people in the important companies, industrial stakeholders are thinking about. For those of you who are new to the Cantab Capital Institute, so my name is Carola-Schönlieb. I'm a professor in applied mathematics here in Cambridge, and I'm also the director of this institute, which is co-hosting this event together with the Turing Gateway to Mathematics. So the Cantab Capital Institute is an institute hosted here in Cambridge Mathematics, comprised of two departments. One of them is applied mathematics and theoretical physics. The other one is pure mathematics and mathematical statistics. And I would say it's a really, truly genuine collaboration between the two departments, bringing together a very diverse range of mathematical topics, from combinatorics to probability theory to statistics, analysis, partial differential equations, optimization, quantum information, mathematical modeling, mathematical biology. Quite diverse, but on the other hand all focused and very enthusiastic about the problem of extracting information from data. Not just extracting, but also analyzing, understanding the information that we are extracting from the data. So as such, the remit is mathematically very broad, and also in terms of the applications, these people are ranging from mathematical theory and methodology development, quite remote from applications, to people who are very much engaged with researchers in all kinds of domains, from medical imaging to financial markets to weather forecasting to biology. While diverse like this, they're all really interested in this information problem, in the problem of deriving methods that can extract information from data. The institute was founded about 3 years ago out of a very generous donation from Cantab Capital Partners, who are a local hedge fund here in Cambridge, and Matt Killeya will say a few words about Cantab in a minute. I think what Cantab has done here is a very forward-looking thing. Without them really giving us the money and without them engaging as they did over the last couple of years, we would have never been able to create what we have done. We would have never been able to bring all these different mathematicians together and collaborate, discuss, and merge their different expertise for something bigger. The very unique thing, I would say, about the Institute is that we really want to go beyond black box algorithms. We really want to go beyond algorithms which just give you a 0-1 answer. We want to derive algorithms that come along with guarantees, that can tell you how certain can you be in the answer that this algorithm gave you, why did the algorithm give you this answer in the first place, how long do you have to wait to get this answer, and also how accurate will the answer be in the end, and how reproducible is it going to be? Is it going to be the same if you do 10, 100, and so on experiments? The core part of the Institute is the PhD training program, and you will hear from the PhD students later on, both in the session before lunch, but also in the poster session. You will see what they're up to. The faculty from mathematics who is involved comprises about 30 people from all these different areas. And we have research fellows who are kind of there to really develop, who should be able to develop their own research agenda. What else do I want to say? One more thing, maybe for you interesting, how do you get involved in the CCIMI, in this Cantab Capital Institute? So please, if you want to know more about us, talk to me or talk to one of the Cantab lecturers. who is Hamza Fafsi Contaberté, and Alberto Cocker, who is, I think, here and who will chair one of the sessions. Alberto, by the way, just joined us in September, so he's a new hire in the Institute. The main thing, as I said, is the PhD training program. So to get involved is really, I think the PhD students' research is a very good way to get involved by sponsoring PhD studentships, for instance. There is another path which is maybe more to explore first ideas that you have, to also explore how well you can work with us. Which is the CMP program, the Cambridge Mathematics Placement Program. So this is a program that sponsors collaborative projects between mathematics students, undergraduate students, as well as master students during the summer break. So for about 8 to 10 weeks. To work with stakeholders in industry on problems that you have. In my experience, this is an extremely good thing. I've been involved in several of these CMP project supervisions from an academic supervisor point of view. And I can tell you the really cool thing about this is that our undergraduate students are really smart. And even in just a couple of weeks, you can't imagine what they can do. One thing to say is that the call for project proposals from your side will be out by the end of this month. There is in your delegate pack some more information on this Cambridge Mathematics Placement Program. And also, if you want to know more about this, some people from the CMP are here, Jake Rasmussen and Artie over there. So if you want to know more about that, please talk to them. So without further ado, I will give the word to Matt in a minute. But I'll just want to say again, thank you for coming and enjoy the day.
All right, thanks, Carola. Good morning, everyone. As Carola said, I'm Matt Killeya, so I'm one of the co-CIOs at Cantab. So I won't take long. I just want to say, first of all, welcome to this event today. Welcome back. Recognise many people. But also welcome especially to the new students, the new staff as well at the Institute, who have just turned up in the last few weeks. First time that we've sort of all come together, so that's really nice. So just a couple of words on the topic of the day. So, I mean, this is an industrial engagement day, trying to connect with industry. So just to say a couple of things on that. I mean, I think first of all, Carola outlined the Institute vision very well. I would say one thing on top of that, which is really, I think it's a great example of connecting with industry, of engaging with industry and what can be achieved when industry and academia work together. So I think, you know, given the topic of the day, actually the Institute itself is just a great example of what can happen there. And in particular, as Carola said, you know, it's really growing. It's gained critical mass. I mean, you know, to give you some numbers, I think we're now at around 25 students, more than 30 full-time members. So, you know, we've got research fellows, lecturers, director, and of course, many other faculty members as well. So it really has critical mass, and this is a great thing. This is a great thing, and this is really about a collaboration between both sides. Of course, you know, already 3 years in, starting to lose count of how many years, and thinking about what's beyond. And you know, we were at the EPSRC just last week, thinking about funding and how we not just continue, but also build and expand on the success that we've had already. And one of the things that came up then again is this theme of industrial engagement and why that's so important. And you know, they're very actually complimentary about what we've done here, but you can also tell that they really value this topic. So, you know, why do they? I think maybe two things to point out. I mean, first is just the power of people coming together, working on research topics. Often, you know, I've said, you know, similar things before, which is, you don't always realise that that you're working on something quite similar to somebody else, because the context is different. We may be in a financial institution, you may be working on some physics problem, and actually the mathematics you're trying to solve it can often be very related. The Black-Scholes equation and options pricing theory, it's an old example, but it's a great example of the physics, the principle of the first law of thermodynamics, the conservation of energy, heat flow in a bar. Now that actually is the same mathematics that underpins options pricing, and that research effort continues to this day. There's mathematical structure of the optimal boundary in options pricing. It's still an open research problem with a lot of interesting mathematics, but also at the same time, real world implications. Generates liquidity in financial markets. It's a thing that enables you essentially to ultimately get a mortgage so you can buy a house. So, if you're thinking about impact, it's pretty high impact, actually. Impact, of course, another thing that the EPSRC are very focused on. So those connections are important. The second point that I'd make is just the environmental conditions. So they're quite different, industry and academia. So in industry, we have things like stakeholders, investors. We have the fact that we're supposed to make profit. So we're driven, by these things, and these can be helpful to some degree when you're doing research. They can be a motivator. They can focus your mind. They can also be a distraction. They can also be a constraint. And at the same time, in academia, the setup is obviously somewhat different. There's a lot more freedom, I would say, and you're therefore enabled to think a bit more broadly and have more of an open, a blue sky approach, and that can be very powerful. Can also sometimes be slightly overwhelming and scary. So these two environmental conditions are quite different. So I think I'd say with engagement, it's good to put yourself in a different environment to where you spend most of your time. So if you're in academia, then to spend some time in industry, to interact with people in industry is a very good thing, and hopefully that will make you a better researcher. That's ultimately one of the main missions of the Institute, is to train the next generation of researchers, whether you stay on in academia or whether you go into industry. Having spent some time in both and understanding both will make you better in either of those two futures that you have in front of you. That's probably all I want to say. I think hopefully that sounds good in principle. If you want to sort of see the practice of that, I think that's basically what today is about, right? So we're going to see some talks by some people which are the result of those kind of collaborations. So the proof will be in the pudding. So hopefully you enjoy the day. That's all from me. Thanks.